So if your clients only ever want to deal with you, they call you, they email you, they want you in every single meeting, that feels like great service, but it's quietly capping your growth. Today, I'm going to show you how to move your biggest client relationships off yourself and onto your team without the client ever feeling dropped. Hi, my name's Josh. I spent 10 years as a director and shareholder of 3 million engineering consultancy. We grew into a 30 million engineering, town planning, surveying, and architecture business. And today we're going to cover three things. One, why clients only wanting you as a growth ceiling in your business. Two, why you can't just hand them over overnight. And three, the exact step-by-step plan to transition a client relationship the right way. So let's get into it. All right, so let's do this. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is, and this is like logical, I'm sure you know this, but clients only wanting you is a growth ceiling in your business. And I guess in this sort of first part of the podcast, I want to expose why the thing that feels like your greatest strength, like being the person that every client trusts and wants, is actually the thing holding your business back. And so, like, I get it, early on, clients wanting you is a good thing. It's how you win the work, it's how you hold on to the clients, it's how you build your reputation. But as you grow, we can't let it stay that way. Like, at some point, it flips. Every client who'll, I guess, only deal with you becomes a client your team can't take off your hands. So you know, logically, as you grow, you can't be in every meeting forever. Like, you've got growth goals, you want more clients, you want to build out your team and have people taking work off you, you want to transition client relationships and all those sorts of things. But you can't be doing everything and you can't be in every meeting. There are only so many hours in the day. And what happens is you actually become the bottleneck on every single client relationship. It's also a biggest risk to your business too. Like, we think it's the biggest thing that we hold on to, and like we beat our chests as a badge of honor that every client still wants you. But it's like the biggest risk to your business, because when a relationship in your business only lives in your head or is only able to be progressed because of you, like, the whole thing depends on one person, and that one person is you. And so that's the real reason why you can never truly step back, is the business is glued to you at a client level. So I guess let's just pause. Like, if you're in every client meeting, every client calls you directly, they call your phone first. I just want to ask yourself this, like, do these clients actually trust my entire business, or do they just trust me? Okay, so the second thing I want to talk to you about is, cool, you want to transition client relationships, you're probably frustrated, you're like, I want to grow this business, every relationship depends on me, stuff it. I'm just going to hand off client relationships to people on my team. I want to explore with you now why you can't rip the Band-Aid off. We need to transfer. We don't just hand off client relationships, because rushed handovers or just an announcement to say you're now working with X on the team, that damages client relationships. And we need to take time to invest in the client relationship transition that's going to ultimately benefit your business in the long term. So I guess the big mistake I see founders doing it suddenly is exactly what I just described. You get frustrated, you're annoyed, you're like, I'm stuck in all these meetings. I'm sick of this client calling me all the time, making someone else's problem in the team. The mistake is doing it suddenly. Like telling a client, you'll deal with Sarah now, or you'll deal with Brad now, and you just step away and ghost the client. That spooks clients. And maybe you've got some clients that doesn't matter, you don't mind if they drop away. But for your A-grade clients, that's going to spook them. They're going to get a bit funny, like, we signed up with Josh. Like, that's who we want on our projects. You can't just tell a client you're dealing with Brad or Sarah now. So clients, it's not that they don't distrust your team, they've just never been given a reason to trust them yet. And that trust has to be built over time. And so the goal isn't to, I guess, disappear. It's to slowly widen the relationship so it belongs to the business, not just you. And we'll talk about this in part 3, how to actually do it properly. But a real handover takes, honestly, 6 to 12 months. And that's, you might be going, oh my God, I can't wait that long, or I need it to happen now. But that's how long it takes to transfer trust and it be done right. And honestly, if you've got a client spending $1 million, $2 million, $3 million a year with you in repeat work, it's worth doing that. So I want you to think about this transfer of client relationships as an investment in the future growth of your business. It's not some admin task that you can hand off to someone. You're building an asset, you're building a business. The relationship with your client is an asset. So you want to be building these things and investing in the long term. So I guess I want you to pause. I want you to think about if you've like tried to offload a client relationship before and it didn't stick. They just kept coming back to you, or they got frustrated with the team member that you put them with and they left. I want you to ask yourself, did I actually transition that relationship over time, or did I just hand it off and hope? So the last thing I want to talk to you about is like a plan. Like it's a step-by-step plan to transition a client relationship the right way to someone on your team. So I guess this is the pivot that I want to kind of help you adopt. If I was doing it again, or if I was doing this is the exact sequence I'd follow to move a client, a high value client, a good client, a client you like and you've built trust and relationship with, onto your team while you stay connected at a high level. So the first thing is relationships. Like we have to identify the right person on your team to take over that relationship. Someone the client can actually trust. So this is like point number one, and it's where I see a lot of people go wrong. They're like, oh, Steve's got heaps of time in the team. He can take over that new client relationship. But you don't stop to think about the personality of your client, how they like things done, versus the personality of the team member you're looking at, sort of pairing them with. Like a very technical client really needs a very technical person, but a relationship kind of high level kind of client who just wants high level details and doesn't need the war and peace, they're not going to gel well with a details person on your team. So we have to start by identifying the right person on your team to take over that relationship. Second thing I'd start doing is bring that team member, once you've identified them, to every single meeting that the client, so the client can see them, so they can meet them consistently over and over. So they just get used to identifying Brad or Sarah from your team with you on that project when you come to client meetings. So just, they don't have to do anything, they just sit there, they take things in, maybe they're taking notes, maybe they bring the drawings, that sort of stuff, but you want to just introduce that team member to the client on every single meeting. Then what I'd do is I would start them taking over some of the correspondence on the project. So you might just ask them, hey, can you just email the client this and let them know that this has happened? Can you do the weekly update to the client? Can you start doing some of the day-to-day comms with the client? So that you want them to start to take over some of the correspondence. So again, the client just starts to see more and more that person's name coming through on the emails in their phone. Then after a period of time, 2 to 3 months, or whenever you feel comfortable, maybe 6 months, we want to flip the meeting structure. So instead of you running the meeting, we want the team member to start to run the meeting and you're just there for oversight. So just a gentle, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, Brad or Sarah is going to start to run today's meeting, just a bit of training and that sort of stuff. And I'm here. So again, that just starts to build the team member's level of authority in your client's eyes as someone who's not just a support person, who's someone who can actually run a meeting. And so you're there to support them, you jump in when you need to, but they're taking ownership over those meetings. Then I'd get them to start making the phone calls that you would normally make. So like when a client rings you, have that team member call the client back and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, Josh just asked me to give you a call because he's in a meeting. So again, just slowly, and they're like, oh, great. Yep, this is what I need. And so they're some of the things you can start to do to start to transition that client relationship. And once it has been transitioned and you slowly start to step away, you stop going to every second meeting, you stop returning phone calls, you can stay connected at a high level. You stay connected strategically. And once a quarter, you just call the client and go, hey, just checking in, seeing how Brad or Sarah is going on the particular project, any feedback. And it creates a line where your client can still call you direct and give you feedback, but they call your team member for all the client, all the project comms. So just to recap, like if you want to get past being the only person your clients will deal with, I want you to ask yourself this: which relationship am I going to start transitioning first, and who on my team is going to own it? And then you just literally follow the process that I've outlined to you. All right, so now I want to tell you about Nathan. Nathan is an incredible boardroom member and how he's living proof that clients will happily trust your team when you set it up the right way. So Nathan took a holiday. He took an entire week off, completely out of reception, no comms with his team, not responding to clients. And for a lot of founders and owners, like that's the stuff of nightmares. Like that old version of most founders would be checking their phone every day, checking their phone from the beach and waiting for like the whole business to fall apart. But it didn't. Like Nathan's team shift several key deliverables without him. And the part that matters the most is his clients were happy the entire time he was away. And that stuff doesn't just happen by accident. It happens because Nathan had already done the work of building a team his clients could deal with directly. He'd handed over real responsibility, not just to doing, but the client relationships themselves. His people weren't waiting on him to make every call or answer every email while he was away, because the clients already trusted the team to get on with it. And so that's the whole point of today's episode. Like, Nathan didn't just take a week off, he proved his business could run at the client level without him in the room. And once you've built that, you've got something most owners never get, which is freedom and a business that isn't a hostage to you. So if Nathan can do it, so can you. All right, so to wrap stuff up, if your clients only trust you, that's a ceiling in your business. It's not a compliment. Pick one relationship today, choose the right person on your team to take that over, and start transitioning it slowly over the next 6 to 12 months. Bring them to meetings, hand over the comms, let them run with it, and move yourself up a higher level in the business. That's how you get your freedom back without ever dropping a client. And so if you'd like to learn more about running a more efficient, more profitable consultancy, growing consistently and building a business that gives you the life you actually want to, go and check out our 10 million plus consultancy roadmap training. It's a step-by-step guide on how to grow to that next revenue level in your business, whether it's 1 to 3 to 5 or 10 million and beyond, and build a business you can be genuinely proud of. So you'll find the link to that training video just below this episode. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one.